Welcome, race fans, to the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network Thursday Night Cup Series. It is championship night. I'm Jerry Isaacs. Yeah, Mike Stiverson. Busy tonight. Can't let the championship race go unbroadcasted. So, stuck with me, Jerry Isaacs, and Mr. Andrew Kotska. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing great, Jerry. Unexpected to be here, but great to be here to cover this championship race. Looks like we should have a great one here tonight, I think.
Yeah, I really appreciate you being out here with me. We should have a good race. It's going to be a little bit long one, I think. Tell us about the race.
Yeah, so we're here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. So this track is all roughed up. It's the original 1.54 mile oval with 24 degrees of banking. It's going to be a hot track out there today. Right now, it's looking like it's a 112-degree track temp. So I'm going to expect it to be pretty sketchy out there. Looking like these guys out here tonight are going to be getting about 40 to 44 laps of fuel. So if you look at that, it's probably going to be about split that even, go about 38 laps, and make 3 pit stops out there tonight.
Yeah, we got plenty of tires tonight. If you've listened to Andrew and myself in the past, you know we hate it when there's no strategy. Plenty of tires tonight. You'll be able to do pretty much any strategy you want to. Although, like Andrew said, I think three stints is probably going to be the best strategy.
Yeah, but looking at this track and seeing how sketchy it is out there, I think we're going to see some guys kind of get a little free coming out of the corners here tonight, especially if they're doing some side by side battling. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some cautions and these guys getting to use some of these extra sets out here. Maybe having a little bit of different strategies even halfway through the race or so.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys get a little loose in practice. Like I said, it's championship night. We're down to the final four: Cody Richardson, Lilith Peters, Dan Keene, Coleridge Finney. Whoever finishes highest in this race will be the champion. It's that simple. Not worried about points, not worried about pole, fastest lap, none of that. It's whoever finishes the highest of those four. Andrew, what do we do in the event of a tie? Could there be a tie?
There's never a tie on this, Jerry. I mean, even if all four of these somehow get wrecked out tonight, and we definitely don't want to see something like that happen, they'd all still get a finishing position. So, highest one, they get the championship. I don't think we'll see any kind of ties coming out of this.
So we've got two battles going on tonight. We got the championship battle, and we've got a lot of drivers out here looking to win a race. So I imagine they'll be, for lack of a better word, very respectful of the championship guys. Make sure they have some room, but they're out here to race and win a race tonight. It would be great to win a race on the last night, carry that momentum into the break and into next season.
Yeah, and I'm sure all four of our guys going for the championships, or guys and girls going for the championship tonight, they all want to qualify up front. And of course, right as I say that, I see Coleridge hops right to the top of the board there, followed closely behind by Lilith and Cody. So I guess they all want to be up front tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Coleridge, Lilith, Cody, your top three. Dan Keene is qualified in 10th. He's pulling the kind of thing I do. Don't seem to be able to qualify as well as I would like, but I do expect to see him up there towards the front, not too far into the race. He usually is pretty good about making his way to the front.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm absolutely terrible in qualifying, but once the race comes and start getting in that groove and be able to start driving his way towards the front. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing him up in the front probably around 20, 30 laps in maybe at this point.
Going to be a fun race tonight. Yep, looks like we're on the broadcast and we're live. They're getting ready to wrap up qualifying. We've got let's see how many cars. We got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I got to do math on live. We got 21 cars for you here tonight. Good field for the cup race.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have some great battles. We got about a minute left here in qualifying. I think there might be a couple guys that still haven't gone out on the track yet. Maybe they want to start at the back, but maybe they want to wait till the last second here.
I think Paul Turner here has kind of learned the trick of getting airtime. He qualifies, he goes down to the pits, and then just sits there live. And he's the only one on track. So, he gets free airtime. How about that? I think we could take some notes.
Yeah, even on Tuesday night in our truck broadcast, we saw him trying to find his spot in the infield there amongst the trailers. So he definitely knows how to find his way onto the broadcast.
Nothing wrong with that. Everybody wants to be on TV, right?
Exactly. I mean, everyone wants that few minutes of fame on YouTube.
Absolutely. Don't forget, like I say, this will be our final race. We're going to crown a championship. Then Cyber will take a short break, probably about a month, and we'll be back broadcasting again after the drivers have a break. They'll have a short break, but there'll be stuff they get to do, fun events. But a new season will be coming in about a month. Looks like qualifying is wrapped up. I'm going to pull up our grid here. Looks like our pole setter, Coleridge Finneymoore, followed by Lilith Peters, Cody Richardson, three of our Cup contenders, followed by Christian Delgado in fourth, Dave Sanders, Ed Jurgen, Kyle Nadeau, John Ross, Gary Bowman, and Dan Keene in 10th.
And in 11th place, we have Corey Sherman, Justin Horton in 12th, Jeremy Flanagan 13th, Chris Letts in 14th, 15th is Dave Gainforth, Stephen Music in 16th, Paul Turner 17th, Eric Anderson 18th, 19th Andy Cork, 20th Brian Dorsey, and rounding out the field in 21st is Leroy Koblenz.
155 laps tonight. Should be a good one. I think a little bit longer race is going to allow these guys to be patient. We talked about how tough this track is. It's going to be loose. It's going to be maybe a little bit crazy, but there's plenty of time to make up for some track position. I expect to see some, let's call it safe racing. I don't expect to see anybody go all out here the first 10, 20 laps. What do you think?
Yeah, especially our championship drivers. Like they're just going to want to just get themselves in the groove out there and stay alive until the last pit stop, basically. And then from there, we'll probably start seeing them try to step it up a little bit, trying to get themselves out front.
Yeah, we've got a lot of these drivers have teammates out there. It'll be interesting to see how aggressive those teammates are in either. I'm not going to call it blocking, but making it very difficult to pass. Maybe giving their teammates a push. Let's see if they get involved in this championship race at all, or if they're just out there to try and win a race themselves.
Yeah, hopefully we can see a winner out here. Maybe we'll have two different winners, a winner and a championship winner. Looks like we're about to come down to the green.
Coleridge with a really good start there at the green. Lilith on the outside falling a little bit back and a gap behind Cody. I think Coleridge just got a really good jump there. Cody down on the inside of Lilith going into turn one, looking to use that momentum to get into second place.
Yeah, and they're still coming side by side here off turn two. Cody looks like he's just kind of pushing Coleridge there along the back straight. They're all getting single file up front here as they head into turn three.
Looked like they were single filing out, and then Coleridge looked like he might try and go low. Now I think he's just looking for some clean air. Save
Yeah,
those
I think
tires.
so. I think they're gonna. I think we're gonna see these drivers moving around this track here a lot tonight, just trying to find something in the track, finding clean air. And as we see the top three here, all driving in different lanes, with Cody up on the high line, Coleridge at the bottom, and Lilith in the middle there.
Yeah, I say we're going to be single file. Coleridge, well, he's back kind of behind Lilith. I think just getting down low, running that shorter lane. Seems like he's looking to make a pass, and then he slides up almost into Cody.
Ooh.
There in the tri-oval.
As Cody goes by and trying to take the lead here off of Lilith.
I think Cody wants some clean air. Clean air will help him save tires, won't it?
Oh, it definitely will. And you actually get to control the race at that point here as well too. And you don't have to worry about any of those bad effects you get from the dirty air in this car.
Cody makes it stick to the outside. He is in first place, followed by Lilith and then Coleridge. Coleridge continuing to run that bottom line. It looks to me like he's trying to make a move on Lilith. I think he's really just running a different line. Ed Jurgen up 2 spaces behind Coleridge. Ed's been really fast lately. I'm wondering here if he's going to kind of hang back and let these 3 championship battlers battle, or if he's going to maybe make a move and try and get a race win himself.
I think he's going to try to make a run here as we see him here out on the outside of Coleridge trying to make a move into turn three. I mean, I think he wants to get a win here tonight. It's the end of the season, get some momentum for next season. Why not?
Absolutely. Coleridge falling back a little bit. Looks like his car is still drifting up. I don't know if that's maybe a result of him running that low line earlier and his tires getting hot, or if he's struggling with handling, or if he's maybe just actually saving tires some way.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, he's still keeping up here with the other guys in the top four. So I mean, I don't think they're seeing too big of an issue yet on his side. I think he's trying to take it a little more carefully after we saw him get a little snug there coming off of turn four.
Dan Keene back here is still in 10th place, but he has got a hornet's nest in front of him. Dave Sanders, Kyle Nadeau, and Jeremy Flanagan all right in front of him. He's going to have to work to get his way to the front.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, I think he's probably just kind of riding out this first run. I mean, you want to get those spots, but once the field spreads out, it'll be a little bit easier to start making some of those passes too.
Oh, Coleridge again up. Oh, just slides up into Lilith. Lilith goes up the track a little bit to avoid contact, but that makes Coleridge lose all his momentum. Coleridge drops down into fourth place with Ed Jurgen on the outside and 99 of John Ross looking to also make a pass.
Yeah, I think he's really using his stuff up here. I think he might be kind of pushing that car a little bit harder than you want here on this first run, and kind of causing him to check up a bit as he's getting a little too close to these other guys.
Yeah, he's really running that bottom line. And I think my experience is that bottom line is bumpy and it's loose and it's hard to keep that car down there. I really feel like riding somewhere up or higher on the track, as you see Coleridge and Lilith doing, is going to be a little easier on the car.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're side by side with another car in the corner and you're on the bottom, I mean, you're going to get more of that air taken off the back of the spoiler, and that car's going to get even more sketchier there too. So that's probably some of his troubles is just trying to deal with all those issues with the air.
99, I'm not sure what happened there. I don't really see anything, but he's dropped like 5, 6 positions. I don't know if he just got loose and made a great save. It looked pretty subtle to me, or if he's just did not want to be a part of the action up front.
Yeah, I'm thinking he probably got a little bit loose back there. I mean, it's so easy just to lose spots whenever you lose a little bit of momentum. Everyone will just fly right by you.
Meanwhile, Cody Richardson up to a 7/10 of a second lead, followed by Lilith and Ed Jurgen. Ed right on Lilith's tail. Ed was not bashful about getting in between these contenders with Coleridge right behind him and still looking to maybe make a move. Got
Yeah,
that
it looks like it.
momentum. Oh, Lilith could not go up the track because Ed was there. Ed into second place.
Yeah, he's really charging here up to the front right now. I wonder if he's got anything for our race leader, or I wonder how hard he's pushing it right now. We're just finishing 10 laps right now. So if he's been pushing a little bit too hard, you'd expect to see him just start dropping off here in a couple laps as well.
Well, he had some great success last night in the Rising Stars. Ed did, running that high line. Ended up coming in second. He was second in the championship. Just missed it by less than a second. Really did a good job catching the leader and running him down. Just not enough time to make the pass. Tonight, it looks like that confidence is carried over. He's still running that high line. Worked his way up 4 spots into second place.
Yeah, well, let's see what he's got here. And looks like Coleridge has gone around Lilith for second or third place back here.
Yeah, he has. He's finally made some room for himself, if you will. He's got about 6/10 up to Ed. He's 6/10 behind Ed, and then Lilith is now about a tenth back. But he continues to run that bottom line. I'm sure it's fast, but I want to see how long he can do that without burning those tires up.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking around the field. Looks like a lot of people are running near the high line as well too. So, with the track updates that we've got recently, maybe the bottoms has a little more speed because it hasn't been used as much. It's not as hot of. Ooh, we got a car going sideways on the backstretch. Saved it. Looked like it was Jeremy Flanagan there.
Yeah, Jeremy Flanagan down to the bottom. We saw that live. He did save it. Good job, Jeremy. So Lilith now dropped back. She's down 2 spots into fourth. Looks like these guys up front have kind of settled down a little bit. Dan Keene now making his moves. He's up 3 spots into seventh. You can see he's got a little bit of a gap, so he can catch those guys, see if he can start making his way to the front.
Yeah, and he's been running some decent lap times out here as well too. About equal speeds to our leader right now, a little bit faster than some of the cars in front of him. So I feel like he's going to be up a few more spots here very shortly and try to get in on some of this battle.
Cody Richardson out front. He's 4/10 lead on Ed and a little over a second on Coleridge. I know Cody talks about like he wants to kind of build a lead and then hold that gap. He may not run full out. He just holds a gap. Andrew, when you're battling for the championship here, are you going to try and hold a gap to Ed or to Coleridge?
Oh, obviously to Coleridge. I mean, if I'm Cody right now, I don't really care what Ed's doing out there. If Ed wants to go by, then I'd probably just let Ed go by because he's not my battle tonight. Those guys chasing me down right now behind Coleridge and Lilith and Dan, those are the guys to worry about right now.
Yeah, I think Cody. He wants that clean air, so he'll fight a little bit. But I agree, he's not going to fight too hard to hold that front position when he's really battling Coleridge, who's about a second back. Lilith is about 4/10 there behind Coleridge. Dan Keene in seventh place, looking to make a pass here.
Looks like he's going to
Kyle's
get around Kyle here for
yeah,
sixth place.
Kyle's still battling him pretty hard there. Kyle running the outside, Dan on the inside, but he's got the momentum coming in. Just can't run that car all the way to the top. Got to check up a little bit, lose that momentum, and pull in behind Kyle.
Well, at least we're seeing what we wanted out here, Jerry. It looks like these guys aren't just pulling over for the championship four, so that's nice to see out there and get some nice battles out there on the racetrack.
It really is. These guys, even though they're not in the championship, they're still fighting for a podium spot tonight. And like I say, that'll carry some momentum into the offseason. So, yeah, it is good to see them out there battling with these guys. They're giving them lots of room, so there's no net code issues or accidents that happen, but they're not just pulling over for them. Kyle makes his way past Dave into sixth place. Kyle kind of on the move now. Although Dan, looking to get a 2-for-1 here, goes down to the bottom, gets past Dave and up beside Kyle. Let's see if he can make this pass stick.
Yeah, it looks like Kyle's just got a little bit more momentum there on the high side. Just being able to keep a little bit more speed as he goes through the corners and coming out of them. So it's always
Oh,
hard. Ooh, and we got Dave, or no, that's not Dave. That's a
that's a 67 Horton.
67 getting loose there on the back straight.
Yeah, Dave looked like he got a little loose himself, not near as much as Horton. We're seeing these cars get loose. Andrew, is that you think that'll get worse as the run goes on, or do you think people will get, slow down a little bit and actually have less trouble?
I think it all depends on how they're all driving the cars out there. Because in these cars as well too, you can kind of adjust how that car is handling on the exit of the corners. Like you can just push it a little bit harder, or go a little bit easier if you wanted to loosen it up or tighten it up off the exit of the corner. But I think with what these guys have tonight, I think they're going to be fairly loose throughout the entire race coming off these corners, especially turn four.
We are 20 laps in. We're on our 21 lap. Cody Richardson with a 0.8 of a second lead now over Yed. Yed. How you like that name?
That's a
Ed
good
Jurgen.
short form for Ed. I don't know if it'll
Absolutely.
appreciate it, but it works nicely.
Sorry, Yed. Coleridge about 1.4 seconds back, followed by Lilith, Delgado, Nadeau, Keene, Sanders, Horton, and Anderson.
In 11th, we got John Ross, Gary Bowman, Corey Sherman 13th, Dave Gainforth 14th, Jeremy Flanagan, Chris Letts, uh, Brian Dorsey, and we got a
Caution,
caution
caution.
there. I'm not sure what happened there.
I'm not sure. He back up a little bit. Oh, you can see I had in front of Ed. Looks like Mr. Flanagan. Let's see if we can. Let me back up a little bit here. It did not show that on the board, but looks like Mr. Flanagan may have gotten a little bit loose here. Got him coming. Oh, yeah, he's already loose. Let me
Oh,
back it
yeah.
up a little more. Here he is coming out of 4. Right there,
Yeah,
he
and he was
starts to
just
get sideways.
he
Doing
was
his
loose the whole time and just wasn't able to correct it here, it looks like.
Yeah, doing his best to save it, trying to make a correction. You see those wheels turning, comes to the outside, takes Chris Letts out. Oh, and into the wall. Hate to see
Hard
that.
hits. Hopefully okay, I guess Chris hit pretty hard there at the end on the right front. Hopefully not too much damage, but Jeremy looks like his front end's completely gone from that car.
All right, we are back live here. I'm guessing everybody's going to come in and
Oh
pit.
yeah.
We are 23 laps in. Let's see if everybody has a pretty good pit stop here. I'm assuming everybody's going to come in, take 4 tires. Everybody is in the pits.
Yeah, everyone's going to be taking 4 tires here. I wouldn't expect any kind of strategies here this early in the race.
So we're 24, let's say 25 laps in. Oh,
Ooh,
13 misses.
Delgado.
Yeah,
He missed his box there.
missed his box. So we're going to have, 130 laps. Doing some math here. Still not going to be able to make it on 2. So it's still going to have to be 3 stints, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. Well, I think they can make it on 2 more stops. My math is not working right now.
What's a fuel run? Did we figure that
Fuel
one out?
runs 40 to 44 laps.
Okay.
Yeah, they should be able
So
to make it on 2 more
yeah,
stops here.
we got 130 laps left.
Oh wait, yeah, we have 130 laps. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's still going to be 3 more
We
stops.
were
Yeah,
saying 3 stints. It was going to be 4 stints. We got confused from the beginning, I think.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, our math isn't working here tonight.
Yeah. So 130. If we do 3 stints, that's 43 laps. We might have a little bit of a strategy race now. You've got the option of doing 3 stints if they can make it 43, 44 laps, or maybe 4 stints from here.
Yeah, I think we will see a couple different strategies here, but I think we'll see some of these guys try to stretch out these runs as far as we can, especially after seeing how loose people were there after 20 laps or so on that run.
Yeah, if they are that loose after 20 laps, I can't imagine what they'd be like after 40 laps. I think I am Coleridge going up to give Cody a little hello. I think if I were out there, gosh, I mean, I was going to say trying to win the race, I'd run long and not get kind of caught up in a yellow. But if you're battling for a championship, if you're out front, do you cover what the guy behind you does, or do you run your own race? This will be
Yeah,
interesting to see.
I think you're going to be seeing them try to do whatever the other guys do in the championship for. They're not going to care what the rest of the field does, but when they see one of the other championship four pit, I think we'll see them duck down to pit road pretty quickly after that.
Yeah, saw that out in the chat world. Yed Ergen, love it, love it. We'll see what he thinks of it
Beautiful.
some other time. All right, Flanagan and Letts are both still in the pits. They may have parked it for the night. I'm showing them, or they may still be getting repairs. But we have the green flag dropping. Cody Richardson from the outside gets a great jump. Coleridge with a pretty good run. We are spread out pretty quickly here up front.
Yeah, it looks like behind the leaders, we're double foul for.
Ed Jurgen getting up almost into Lilith, pulls in front of Dan. Dan making his way up to 5th place. Ed
Lilith
Jurgen,
with a big run trying to take second here from Coleridge.
just the opposite of what we saw the first part of the run with Coleridge on the bottom and now Coleridge is on the top, Lilith on the bottom trying to make the bottom work.
Yeah, they're both trying to chase down Cody here. It looks like Coleridge is trying to find some clean air. They're just on the inside of Cody.
Yeah, Cody had whoa in the background. Ooh. Who is that? The 97, Kyle.
He is sideways.
Let's see if we get a yellow.
Some front end damage there.
He's look at his back rear wheel. He toes no yellow. Let's go back and see if we can see what happened.
Oh, it looks like we got a battle for the lead here too.
Oh, we'll come back to that. He just got loose. Back to that battle for the lead. I apologize.
Coleridge there looking inside on Cody. They're basically neck and neck down the back straight, and Cody clears him going into 3.
Coleridge once again trying to make that bottom work. Cody with that momentum on the outside retains the lead. Lilith falling back a little bit. Lilith fell back a little bit late in that run last time. I'm wondering if she is saving some tire this time. We've got somebody in the infield care center. Let's see if we can bring them in, see what happened. Jeremy, you got a copy?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, man. First of all, glad to see you're okay coming out of the infield care center. Tell us about what happened.
I've been struggling with the tires for the past little couple of laps, and coming out of 4, I guess I put the hammer down too hard, and next thing I knew, I was loose all the way into the tri-oval, and I ended up taking Let's out with me.
Oh,
Not not in the plans tonight
That's
at all.
rough.
that is rough, but you're not the only one that was getting loose. A lot of cars are out there getting loose. Sorry it had to happen, but glad to hear you're okay.
It could be a lot better. I just hate it for my guys at Kajika Motorsports, my sponsors. I hate it for everyone else on the track too. I'm ruining their races whenever I come out here lately. It feels like I just feel like I'm a wrecking ball.
Well, you got a little time off. We got about a month off or so to get some practice in, come out strong next season. Hope to be talking to you up here in the podium as a podium runner next season.
Hell, if wishes were fishes, but we'll have to see.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us. Have a good day.
You as well.
Cody getting some pressure. You saw we had it on there from Coleridge, but Coleridge not able to make the pass. Ed Jurgen does get past Lilith, so that's your top 4. Cody Richardson, Coleridge Finnemore, Ed Jurgen, Lilith Peters, and Dan Keene. We talked about him being able to make his way up. He is now running in 5th.
Yeah, he's slowly sneaking his way up here. What did I say? Around lap 30, he'd be up here with the rest of them. And
Yeah.
we're lap 31 now. Yeah, so looks like he's getting in that rhythm and trying to get up to these guys up here and have a battle as our top 4 are basically nose to tail right now going through turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, with those kind of predictions, if you don't mind, just jot down the lottery winnering numbers for this weekend and send them my way if you would.
Oh, I'll definitely do that. Just let me know which lottery it is, and I'll try to think of the right numbers for that one.
Appreciate that. Coleridge once again going to the bottom, trying to get around Cody. Coleridge has been running pretty hard here. Cody, with that momentum, still able to stay in front by about a half a car. Down to the bottom, Coleridge once again getting up beside Cody. And, Coleridge on the apron. Doesn't get loose, but did lose a little bit of momentum on that apron.
He's just trying that Kevin Harvick line where he just wrap those tires around the white line. I don't think it really works as well in these next-gen cars here in the sim, but you can really see that running the high line right now is really helping with momentum. As you see, Ed here has a big run on Coleridge on the back straight, but I think he's just going to hold on to that one for now.
Yeah, Ed Jurgen having a great race running third and using that high line, using that speed. It'll be interesting to see if he can do that for 40 laps. We'll see. Getting my words all mixed up tonight, trying to keep them straight. They're just coming out wrong.
You've been busy this week, Jerry. Too many broadcasts. Your words are tired.
It is. Steven Music down here on the bottom. Looks like his front fender's bashed in a little bit. He is way off speed, keeping it down low, making sure that no caution comes out, but I'm sure that car is going to have to be coming into the pits.
Yeah, look at the damage being on the right side there. Getting to assume he probably got loose off the corner and just smacked that wall.
That front right is turned way in. You can see that there. Back to the front. Big movers tonight. Eric Anderson up 9 spots into 9th place. Brian Dorsey up 8 spots into 12th place. Leroy Koblenz up 8 spots into 13th place. Those are your big movers.
And the only big losers tonight right now, Kyle Nadeau, he's down 12 spots in 19, probably out for the night with all that damage. And a couple other guys behind the wall, Jeremy Flanagan, who was just up here a couple minutes ago in the booth with us, and Chris Letts, unfortunately collected in that accident there for our first caution that we had.
Interesting, you saw Coleridge there giving Cody a push, which I know, you think, working together, that's going to be great. He appreciates it. But you know Cody, I know Cody. We run together. What do you think he feels about Coleridge driving about a car to a half a car back behind him?
He's probably thinking, all right, are you going to stay back there? Are you going to pass me or what? So he's probably kind of just looking at him, just seeing him sit back there running his race. I don't think he's bothered too much by him. I mean, at any of
Oh,
these
I think
mile
he's cussing a storm out saying, "Give me my clean air. Quit, get off my rear bumper."
Oh, that too. Yeah. I mean, I forgot about that. Yeah, he really does not like when anyone rides behind him. And we see Coleridge here trying to make a pass here into turn one. I think he probably got him a little bit loose there that time, coming out of four.
Yeah, Coleridge able to. Oh, and he does make the pass, slides right up, but Cody, nope, not going to quite. Yes, he is. Cody going to the bottom, looking to come underneath and do the crossover. Gets to his door. I don't think he's going to make
I
the
don't
pass
think he's
this
going to
time.
be close enough. No, it looks like Coleridge is going to have him clear here off of turn four. Yep, new leaders Coleridge, Finnemore.
New leader. It does not matter how many laps you lead during the race. No bonus points, no points come into play. It's whoever finishes highest. So, you know, if I'm Cody and he was frustrated, I may start doing that to Coleridge and getting the air off his rear quarter panel and let him get a little crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised here. It looked like Cody had a pretty big run there on the back straight and trying to get up to his inside there, just not enough with Coleridge with that momentum on the high side.
Meanwhile, Lilith Peters in fourth, Dan Keene in fifth. The only one in between the sandwich, Ed Jurgen, there in third place, still hanging with these championship leaders.
You see Cody's got a big run there. He's just shoving Coleridge down the back straight. Ooh, looks like Coleridge kind of scraped the wall there a little bit there coming into turn three.
Yeah, Chris Letts back out on track, pulling it out. Cody getting down to the bottom, just not able to make the pass on the bottom. Again, I don't know if he's really just looking for clean air. That was a deep send right there. Cody Richardson now to the front quarter panel of Coleridge, but not able to go to the outside of the track. Has to check up just a little and pull in behind Coleridge.
Yeah, I think he's looking to get back out on the lead. He doesn't look like he's just trying to find some clean air with that send he had there into turn one. But still early in this race. We got still 115 laps to go, 113 laps to go. So still early. Just keep him right there, right in front of him, and try to get him here soon.
Absolutely. Another driver out of the race, unfortunately, Mr. Kyle Nadeau. Kyle, first of all, how you feeling?
You know, 2 DNFs in a row. It's not fun way to end the season.
It's not the kind of momentum you want to carry into next season, is it?
I'm not gonna miss this car.
Ooh, Cody got
It's-
really loose there on turn four. Sorry about that.
No, no worries, no worries. No,
Looks
I'm
like
not
he
gonna
did
miss
that.
this car. I don't know what's going on, but it's become one of the most undrivable things on the sim.
Oh,
It's just
Lilith almost into Ed. Ed backs out. Lilith takes over third. Sorry, Kyle. We've got action on the track finally.
no, that's okay.
No, I hear you,
It
man.
just bottoms out randomly and then it's gone. So yeah, it's I don't know.
We've seen a lot
Yeah,
of
I was-
guys struggle tonight.
I was trying out that setup before the race, and yeah, it felt pretty sketchy out of the corners, unfortunately. But it's a setup that everyone's dealt with tonight. It's at least giving us some exciting racing here up front as we see Coleridge getting a little loose out of turn two with Cody having a huge run heading into three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're 45 laps into the race. We're 20 laps into this run, and you can see these guys up front. Lilith, Cody, Ed, Coleridge, they're all trying different lines, all kind of moving up and down the track. Oh, Cody gets up tight to Coleridge, now to the bottom, trying to get that first place back.
Yeah, but you get a car right beside you, anywhere around you with this setup, it just takes all the air off of it, and it is super loose Coleridge there in the wall. And even the slightest bit of contact with the wall will just send your car out of, just way out of control. That's what happened with me off it too. It was a slight bump, and it just went right to the inside.
Well, sorry you're having those struggles. We'll let you say thanks to your sponsors, and then if you'd like, you're welcome to hang out and do some broadcasting with us, or if you need to go back to your team, you can do that.
Oh, I think Coleridge is doing pretty good. So if you guys don't mind, I'll hang out here with you for a little bit. We got a pretty good battle here with the top 3 in the championship. So this
Yeah,
will be fun to
big
watch
battle
today.
here. We saw Cody trying to make a pass on Coleridge again. Coleridge takes that lead back, but they're fighting hard with Lilith coming up close, really close behind Cody here, trying to make it a three-way battle for the lead.
This is great. We're seeing this lead change hands. It seems like it once every lap here. Cody back to the front, followed by Coleridge, Lilith. All three running different lines. Lilith carrying the momentum, so she's ducking down, seeing if she can get below Coleridge. Coleridge pushing Cody into the corner so that he has a little bit of extra speed.
I thought they were going to go three wide there for a second going into turn one the last lap there. They were so tight together.
God, doesn't this feel like it's the last 10 laps of a race?
This feels like it's new Atlanta with how tight they are, and like they just the slingshot draft and everything.
Yeah, that draft is looking pretty strong out here today still too, but that's how it is everywhere with these next gens on these intermediate tracks. If you got a draft, that line's going to be strong as we see Cody's pulling Lilith along on the high line here.
Especially with a track temp of 104 there. So you got to be careful up there with that wall. It kind of
Oh,
goes
Coleridge
out.
coming up and no contact. The three all
Three
side
wide
by
across
side.
the line.
Oh, this is a great racing. Like I say, feel like it's the last 10 laps of the race. These three, the championship battle, they are side by side. They are changing lead. They are changing punches. What's the boxing term?
Exchanging punches out there? Yeah, exactly.
Throwing haymakers?
No haymakers here. These are jabs. They're jabbing left. It's too early for the haymaker.
The way they're racing out there, it doesn't even look like they're racing at Atlanta. It looks like we're back at Phoenix with the way they're kind of beating off of each other, getting in the corners.
Coleridge was saying earlier that, he was kind of wishing it was a short track, but this seems like a short track with all the beating and banging we've got going on.
Meanwhile, Ed Jurgen here in fourth, having a great race, hanging on to these three championship contenders right up in that battle. Cody, once again, down to the bottom in front of Coleridge. Lilith has fallen back just a little bit. Coleridge going to see if he's going to do the crossover. No, he is content to pull in behind. Nope, there goes the crossover.
I think Coleridge is just trying to get in the mind of Cody right now and just be like, hey, you know what? If it I thought I was out of it, I had internet issues there at Dover and got a quick win last week and brought him right back into it.
He's doing all the things right now that annoy Cody. He's getting close to him in the corners. He's riding his rear on entry or exit. All the things that kind of free up Cody and get him, as you see him there, getting close to his bumper on exit, trying to free him up and trying to frustrate him a little bit there.
Yeah, that looks intentional right there of trying to just get to his right rear quarter panel, get that car in front of him loose. Nothing wrong with that. It's a strategy in racing. I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's just makes it hard for the driver in front to concentrate.
If you can, it doesn't happen often, but if you can make Cody make a mistake, then by all means do everything you can.
53 laps in, our top 10 are Cody Richardson, Coleridge Finnemore, Lilith, Corey Sherman, Ed Jurgen, Christian Delgado, Gary Bowman, Dan Keene, John Ross, and Dave Sanders. Looks like these front four have spread out a little bit. Lilith has fallen back about 4/10 from Coleridge and Cody. Coleridge kind of backed off a little bit. I don't know if he's saving tires or just maybe used some up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they were racing pretty hard there. You have to expect some of them have used up their tires a fair amount. I'm sure Cody has a little bit, trying to hold them off a little bit there too, but I don't know how much that Highline's using up tires, if it's using up more or not. I haven't been able to test that out here recently either.
Meanwhile, Corey Sherman just passed Lilith. He got past Ed and then just past Lilith, is now into third place. His last lap, a 32.12 to Cody Richardson's 32.3. Corey is the fastest guy on the track right now.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like he saved his stuff up a little bit more than these other guys. I mean, a lot of racing up front, so I'm sure they've worn out a fair amount. And still that time by, Corey was still about 2 tenths faster than our top two here.
We are 56 lap in. We pit around 25, so 40 is going to be here. Probably about another 9 more laps. We talked about some strategies. It doesn't look like anybody's going to pit early and add an extra stint, so they're all going to probably run it dry and then Pitt, and we're going to see who.
Ooh, Coleridge got a little loose there off turn 4.
Yeah, he
Kept
did.
it all under control.
Oh, Dave
Yeah, he-
Sanders back off the track. Looks like he must have gotten loose. I don't see any damage. Maybe I just saw him drop real quick. I think he must have just gotten loose, gotten down into the infield.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh, Coleridge in the wall there off of 2. I don't see any damage.
Yeah, these guys have been pushing hard. Cody now up to a half-second lead over Coleridge after he hit the wall, but Corey Sherman right there behind Coleridge.
Corey is really good at saving tires. You know, he was with the divisions last year. He was in the Final Four in his division, and nearly came home with the championship. I think he had a second place. So, you know, this is his second season in Rising Stars, and yeah, he's really stepped into his own.
They're making it hard with Coleridge, Corey, Cody. Can't keep
Yeah,
them straight.
I know. It's just, you know, the C's race in the Cup Series. They seem to do the best there.
It seems like it, yeah. It'll make it hard for us. We'll just keep saying the wrong names for each of them up front.
We'll just get it right eventually. Lilith there kind of tagged the wall off the 4 there, it seems.
Yeah, Lilith seems like a little bit of a second wind here, is caught up to Corey. I think she's just looking for clean air, running a different line, not looking to make a pass just yet. I don't know if they have the tires to go 3 wide now.
The one thing now we have to pay attention to with this dynamic track, especially at Atlanta, is now that the sun is starting to set, the upper side of 1 and 2 there is almost in complete shade. So the track will be a little bit cooler, and that's where all your grip's going to be.
Yeah, it'll make it interesting for these guys going on each side of the corner because it's going to feel a little bit different too as you're driving through that shaded part in turns 1 and 2.
Christian Delgado gets past Lilith, moves in front. Meanwhile, Corey underneath Coleridge looking to make a pass for second place. Doesn't look like he's going to have the momentum, but he gets good run on exit from down low. Looks like he did save his tires, able to keep that car down low, still running side by side going into turn 1.
And Coleridge kind of broke his momentum there off of 2. I think he's just going to let Corey go here. Realizes Corey has a little more tire, go up and maybe hurt Cody's tires a little bit racing, and then just pick up the pieces on what's left.
Yeah, and I'm sure he knows he's got a pit stop here in a couple laps, so maybe he'll be able to try to jump Corey again in the pits, trying to get a good entry and exit through pit road.
And we all know Cody pretty well, so we know he doesn't want to win a championship from second place. He wants to win the race entirely.
Absolutely. Gary Bowman now in 6th place, looking underneath Lilith. Not going to make that happen, but Gary up 3 spots into 6th place. Looked like he saved some tire. Meanwhile, Corey taking the lead. We have a new leader down low. Let's see if he can make it stick. Cody Richardson on the outside. Cody's probably going to have momentum. Corey with those fresh tires gets in front down low and pulls in front. New leader, Corey Sherman.
Yeah, I think Cody might have let up a little bit there to let him by and just pushing him down the straight here.
He is definitely pushing him down the straight here.
Cody's getting real close to that outside wall there, running that Kyle Larson line.
Interesting, these guys coming down late. Corey, Christian, they're in 4th place. They're still able to run the bottom. Is that just because they saved more tire?
Yeah.
That's some of it, yeah. I mean, they weren't really battling too much. They were kind of just driving in line behind our leaders too, so I feel like they just have a little bit more tire from not having any of those side-by-side battles. And with this track being old and worn out, there might be a little bit more wear if you're trying to push hard, especially on the high line, trying to hold as much speed as you can.
Oh, Lilith into the wall in the background. You saw Coleridge trying to make a pass underneath Cody, got up to his door, but not able to make it stick, falling back behind Cody once again, going into the corner, up beside him with Christian, trying to make it 3. No, Christian pulls in behind Coleridge, maybe to give Coleridge a push on exit. Coleridge
They're
able to get in
teammates.
front of Cody.
So that's one thing to watch there. The 23 and 13 are teammates.
Yeah, they're side by side right there. As 13 goes up the track just a little bit, now side by side with Cody. They trying to box him in, Kyle?
Yep, I think this is, team, I wouldn't say team orders, but Christian trying to be a really good teammate here is going to try to squeeze up, not quite
Ooh,
get
got
there.
a little loose there trying to squeeze up there.
So we noticed on that first run with Coleridge pretty much running the bottom line the entire time, and me kind of moving around. I was able to save, I think, 3 or 4% more right front than Coleridge there. So towards the end of the run, I kind of started running the outside on both ends, and that seemed to help a lot. So as the tires run, you can kind of keep the momentum up, ripping the outside, and just kind of start making passes.
Running order now: Corey Sherman, Coleridge, Christian, Cody, Lilith, Gary. Those guys are all within a second of each other up front, battling, changing positions, running different lines. Man, this has been a fun race.
Yeah, we're starting to get some takers on pit road. It looks like Ed Jurgen and Dave Standers and Dave Gainforth have all started to make their pit stops here as well too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see our leaders start coming down pit road in the next couple laps.
If I were Cody, I'd want to be the first one of this group. Get out, stretch a lead.
Yeah, those tires are worth a fair amount right now. We're looking at about almost a second and a half of fall off right now. So if you meet that first guy on pit road right now, you'll be able to hop these guys in front of you and get that lead.
First one of our championship contenders is
Oh,
pitting.
Cody in the wall.
Cody's pitting this time, and so is Dan Keene. So this is something to watch here with Coleridge and Lilith. Oh, Lilith's pitting too. Coleridge, I think, is going to kind of be stuck staying out here.
Yeah, Coleridge still running the high side up there. Let's watch this pit entry. You can see both Cody and Lilith both coming in. Looks like they both made it in clean.
Yeah, it looks like a
23
clean
time.
entry. Yep, no flags showing right now.
So that's Corey, Coleridge, Christian, Gary, Dan. Dan did not come in, and Eric Anderson. Those are your top 6.
Looks like the 08 and the 13 are pitting this time with Coleridge. And I think someone else was too.
Yeah, Coleridge 13 and the 13. You can see him getting down slow. Looks like Coleridge having to lock it up at the end. I think that was still clean, just a really fast entrance.
He is super aggressive when he comes to pit road. Here comes the 6 as well. So
Corey Sherman still out
seeing-
there on track.
I'm seeing some black flags coming up here right now on scoring. Seeing Leroy Koblenz with a black flag, Gary Bowman with a black flag, and unfortunately one of our championship 4, Daniel Keene, with a black flag there on entry.
Oh, no. Corey coming into the pits now last. Corey does this a lot, I've noticed, where he'll get up there in the front and then he'll run long. And, I mean, to me, it feels like you lose a little bit of that advantage by staying out long. Am I wrong in my thought there?
Yeah, staying out long it's not going to help you too much. Maybe late in the race when you have less laps on your tire at the end, but you're going to have to battle to get around those guys that are out there. It's always better to try to be that first guy in and hope that everyone follows you in the next lap so they don't have too much of advantage of fresh tires on you.
Speaking of advantage, Cody is now back in the lead of the championship, and Coleridge about a quarter of a dog leg difference. So that was what, 2 lap difference? Or no, that was just a lap difference.
Lap difference.
Cody,
And even his lead right now over Lilith, he's got about 0.6 of a second lead right now as well too. So looks like he found a little bit of speed on pit road as well compared to the other guys up front.
Yeah, and knowing Cody, I think that clean air right now is what he appreciates. I talked about him kind of holding a lead. Lilith is about 0.7 back. I expect that to stay the same for, at least 10 or 12 laps here. I don't think Cody's going to push any harder than he has to maintain that gap. Yeah,
and looking at our pit road times from our leaders out there, no surprise seeing Cody out in the lead. He had the best pit lane time of 43.3 seconds. The next fastest was Lilith with a 43.4, and the rest of the field was about a second slower or more from the front two. Hey, Kyle, Carter just got home. He said on the text chat on YouTube, wants to know what happened to Kyle. I'll let you explain it.
Well, the one thing that was missed, I kind of bottomed out coming through 4 and the thing went straight, and then coming off of 2, I tagged the wall and she went down to the inside and decided to park it for the rest of the season. So
that's a long way of saying wrecked it.
Yep, it sounds better.
What he really meant to say was he just ran out of skill and couldn't hold on to it there, and time to take a nice little early retirement into the off season.
Yeah, talent pools run dry.
All right, we are 74 laps in. We've gone through our first pit cycle, actually second. We had one on the caution. First green flag pit cycle, Cody Richardson, followed by Lilith Peters, Coleridge Finnemore, Christian Delgado, Ed Jurgen, Corey Sherman, John Ross, Dave Sanders in 8th, Eric Anderson, Brian Dorsey in 10th.
And Dave Gainforth in 11th is the last car on the lead lap.
Oh, he's back. Cody just blinked out. He's back.
And then one lap down, we have Gary Bowman, Dan Keene, Justin Horton, Leroy Koblenz, and Andy Cork. And then about 5 guys behind the wall, multiple laps down, Paul Turner, Chris Letts, Stephen Music, Jeremy Flanagan, and our friend in the broadcast booth tonight, Kyle Nadeau.
Sorry it happened. Glad you're here.
Yeah.
Championship contenders 1, 2, 3. Dan Keene with a little bad luck on pit road now, 1 lap down. He is going to need at least one caution, or he's going to need to be able to get that lucky dog and get a caution to be back in this battle. But the other 3, all right up front after we've had this green flag pits, they're spread out a little bit. Lilith at about 0.8 of a second back, kind of holding that gap. Coleridge about a little over 2 seconds back.
The track temp is starting to get a little bit cooler. I mean, we started off at about 114 degrees out there today and down to about 101 as the day starts waning on here in the sim.
We are just approaching halfway. One more lap and we'll be halfway. This is where Cody Richardson wanted to give a shout out and say hi to his mom. Why halfway? I don't know. Come on,
That's
guys.
a good question.
Give me something.
That is a good question.
I
Maybe
don't know.
They're kind
We
of
can
spread
ask him.
out. I'm trying to,
trying to fill air.
trying to fill air. Corey
One thing with
Sherman's in 6th place now. He's a few seconds back here, but right coming up on Ed Jurgen. This is our closest battle. He's only about 2/10 back behind Ed. He's making a move. I was going to say, I expect Corey will probably sit there for a little bit, save some tires, and then make a late run. But every time I open my mouth, they do the opposite. Looks like he is going to try and make a pass on Ed here in the next lap or 2.
Yeah, and he's had some fast laps out here. He's been about a 10th faster than most of the guys around him as well, too. So I think he's just trying to get himself back up to the front. He knows he's got a couple lap fresher tires, and maybe he's not pushing as much as we think he is out there right now compared to the other guys.
Yeah, if you're listening out there, Corey, next time those guys pit, go with them no more than a lap later. That's my opinion.
Agreed.
Coleridge has closed the gap. He was over 2 seconds. It's now 1.73. Coleridge with his fastest lap of a 31.03 to Cody Richardson's 31.4 last lap.
He's going fast. He wants to go fast. I think Cody out there is just kind of riding right now, knows the gap he's got. Like we were talking earlier, just trying to mind his gaps. And Coleridge is just trying to fight his way back up to the front here and try to join these guys for this battle.
Yeah, Cody last time with a 31.2 to Coleridge's 31.04. So Coleridge still running a little bit faster, but not as fast. I agree. The gap to Lilith is still about 0.8, and that's what I think Cody's probably focused on right now.
I think our front two, they probably heard their in-game crew chief tell them that Coleridge had that 31 flat because all 3 of our leaders, well, our whole top 5 all ran 31 flats this last lap.
They are stepping it up.
You don't want to be the first one to rip that lap, but you don't want to be too far behind on them.
Ed Jurgen hanging on with Corey Sherman. Those two kind of slowed down a little bit their pace, but they got a little battle here going on for 5th place. $82 laps in out of 155 laps. Things have kind of settled down. So if they settle down like this, we've got, let's see, we'll have one more green flag pit stop. Man, how much nerves do you have going into that last pit stop? For me, those nerves make me I'm like, I don't want to make a mistake, and that makes me slow.
Yeah, and especially in this last race of the year, you would expect all of our championship four drivers have a little bit more on edge here tonight, just especially with that last pit stop, because you know you need to make that perfect, no mistakes, perfect entry, exit, don't miss that box. A lot of things could go wrong just making that last pit stop.
It's better to have a slower entry than a faster entry and be stuck down there like Dan Keene.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to get caught speeding because that'll just absolutely ruin your race, especially late in the race. At that point, you're just hoping for a caution like Dan is right now.
I will say, we've had a caution here or there, but the last 5 races, I got to hand it to these guys out on track, all of them, guys and gals, because we've had a lot of green flag racing, a lot of long run racing, and that's really the best racing. And these guys have done a great job keeping it clean.
Well, the entire league between trucks, Cup, Xfinity, and Cup have really stepped up the clean racing over the last, I would say, season. I know we were having problems earlier last season with cautions, but yeah, it's like you get one, maybe two, and it's rare that you get more than two. I've noticed it's been very, very good. People have been putting their work in for clean racing.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Coleridge right on Lilith's bumper, be able to get down underneath her side by side going into, where are they? Going into one?
Turn two. They're going
Coming
to
through
turn
two.
two now.
Turn two.
Turn
Coleridge
two's
made that
almost
pass look
eight.
pretty easy compared to some of the earlier ones out in front of Lilith.
I wonder if we'll let him have that spot there or what. But yeah, he made that look pretty easy.
I've noticed kind of racing out there with her. She's fast at the beginning, and then as the tires kind of, it's almost as the tires start to grain, she kind of loses a little bit, but then she's right back there, right at the end of the run.
Yeah, it's probably just the adjustment period in the middle of the run as well too. I mean, we all know how much these cars change just lap to lap and just having to adjust how you're entering and exiting those corners. So sometimes it just catches you off guard and you kind of have to get back into it again.
A little bit of lap traffic, Gainforth keeping it down to the bottom, showing these guys some respect, letting them go on by. There's your top 3. Cody continuing to hold that 1 second gap, a little bit over a second now. I think he's got to be pretty happy with the way this race is rolling now, because I'm guessing he was really frustrated when they were on his bumper taking that air off the back of his car.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the frustrating things too in this car is when you're in a group, you can never get away from that group. The draft in these things is so strong. So I know with Cody and myself as well too, is like you're just waiting for that first pit stop to finally spread out to actually get some separation from everyone else, because all the clean air you can get all the way around the car is better in the long run for you.
Big movers of the race, Corey Sherman up 6 spots into 5th. Eric Anderson up 9 into 9th. Brian Dorsey up 10 into 10th. And Leroy Koblenz up 6 into 15th place. Those are your big movers going forward.
And we all know our biggest loser. He's right here with us.
Yep.
Rough week, man. Rough couple weeks.
Yeah, for Cup. Pretty good couple weeks
Pretty
on
good
Tuesday.
for truck, huh?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you had a great night this week on Tuesday there, getting your second truck championship. That was a fun night.
It was, come out of this week with some more hardware, but can't always get them.
No, but you got any announcements? Any exciting announcements for next season? You gonna defend your truck championship, or still trying to figure that out?
Still trying to figure that out. I think with Wednesday nights, I think some cool stuff is going to happen there, and some cool announcements that haven't been made yet will be coming out here fairly shortly, I believe. But yeah, Wednesday nights are shaping up to be pretty fun, I would say.
Yeah. Don't make any premature announcements. You'll get a flogging.
Exactly.
That would be bad.
Yeah, nobody wants any kind of public shaming, so
No.
you can.
Well, I don't know. Hey, you know what? Maybe we bring back some public shaming.
Hey, it could be fun. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
always good. Yeah, group shamings in Discord. It's always a good time.
It was always fun. I've always thought we should have a group shaming session every week.
And in case you didn't catch it by the accents, I'm surrounded by my folks up north, the two Canadians, outnumbering me tonight.
Hey, we just need Coleridge to win and call our team Canada tonight.
Well, you do you. I'm rooting for Cody.
Andrew's in the middle. He teammates with Cody, or does he want his countrymen to win?
It all depends. I kind of want Cody to win, but if Cody wins, we'll no longer be tied in Cyber Cup Championship. So it's a hard one to root for. I actually came into the race wanting to root for Dan, hoping that he could come up here and battle with these guys for the championship.
Yeah, that would have been cool to see.
Yeah, he's lap times. He's right on pace with these guys. Just unfortunate speeding in the pits. No cautions. Hasn't been able to make anything up there. Cody Richardson here in your lead. He's got 8/10
Coleridge
gap.
in the wall.
Looks like I don't see any damage there.
Kind of brushed it, but Christian Delgado has gotten by Lilith here the last few laps.
Yes, down. There we go. Down, made the bottom pass. Lilith on the outside. So we got about a 1 second gap from Cody to Coleridge. Christian Delgado almost a second back, and then Lilith just right on his bumper, a little few tenths back. Corey Sherman still in fifth. We are 95 laps in. That's 60 laps left. Probably about 20 laps till they pit.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, about 18, 20 laps, I think.
This is where we would go to commercial break if we had a commercial. Or maybe even go to crank it up if we knew how to crank it up.
Put up one of those Applebee commercials or something.
Hey, you guys want to go get kicked out of Applebee's?
Are there Applebee's in Canada?
I think there used to
There
be.
used to be. I know there used to be one just outside of Toronto, but I think that one closed down years ago.
Yeah, that's all been turned into one giant mall. That's where the NASCAR speed park was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, if I need to go to Applebee's, I gotta make that hike across the border to get to one. But I think there's like 4 of them, like within like an hour of my house.
Is it easier to get into the States or back into Canada?
Depends on the time of the day, but usually it's usually fairly easy on both sides. Well, it's hard to say that. It's been a while since I've crossed across the border. A few years since before all the COVID stuff.
It's definitely easier to get back into Canada than it is to go across the border.
Oh, exactly. Years ago, and when I was in university, went across the border to pick up a video game that only released in the States. I think it was Rock Band or something. Came back at like 2 in the morning after going to a Walmart like far south of New York State. And the border guard was like looking at us weird coming back at 2 in the morning on a Tuesday. We told him why, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, just go have fun. See you guys."
It's funny. It's same like the Mexico border. Going into Mexico, they're just like waving you in. Come on in. We don't care. Boy,
Come on in. Bring your money.
Yeah, coming back into the States, literally, you can have a 6 or 7 hour wait sitting in your car in line. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely a much different experience crossing into the States than Canada, because I never see dogs walking between cars and sniffing going into Canada, but occasionally you'll see them going into the U.S.
Quite often. Not a lot happening on track. Cody, Coleridge, Christian, Lilith, those are your top 4. Pretty much gapped out, holding that same gap. Cody just holding on to that 1 second plus or minus lead. I think we're in cruise control right now until we get to that next pit cycle. Of course, I say that Christian Delgado is right on Coleridge's bumper. As Kyle pointed out, they're teammates, so I don't know if Christian's going to try and make a pass here or just push. Looks like
I think he wants to make a pass.
Yeah, knowing Coleridge, he's told him, like, if you're faster, go. Like, don't just sit behind me. If you've got a chance to win, go out and win.
Absolutely.
Coleridge is a racer. He's just race. He wants the competition. I don't think he cares if he wins or loses. Well, he does. But, if you can make a race out of it, go out and make a race out of it.
You've got to go see him race live, real racing, haven't you?
I have. Kid's good. Like, he's just amazing.
Yeah, one day, I think it was like late summer or something, I was putting on one of the local broadcasts. I think it was at Peterborough or Flamborough Speedway, or yeah, it was Peterborough Speedway, and all of a sudden I saw Coleridge's name in the mini stocks, and I was like, oh, I'm going to cheer him on now at this point.
It's easy to pick out because he's like 8 feet tall. It's just like, oh, there's Coleridge.
Christian does make the pass. We were watching it. Christian does make the pass on Coleridge. Christian Delgado into second place. So we talked about this earlier. Cody Richardson likes to hold that gap, but now it's a gap to a non-championship runner in Christian. It'll be interesting to see if Cody still tries to maintain that gap or if he's maybe less worried about the gap to Christian than he is Coleridge. Of course, right now, Cody's got some lap traffic in front of him, the 12 car of Andy Cork to deal with. He's obviously going to be focused forward for the moment.
Yeah, I think Andy's already one lap down, so I don't think he's going to put up much of a battle here with Cody. I think once Cody gets to him, I think he's just going to let him by here.
I think with Cody, he would prefer to have Coleridge right there because Coleridge would be a little more predictable than what Christian would be because Cody's raced around Coleridge a lot for championships and whatnot. He hasn't raced around a lot around Christian. Christian is having a really good night tonight.
Yeah, he is up there in second place, up 2 spots. He qualified 4th. We talked about it earlier. There's really 2 battles going on tonight. There's a championship battle and a race win battle, and everybody wants to win the race.
Yeah, and as we were watching this, it looks like we had a pass for 4th place. Looks like Corey Sherman got around Lilith Peters.
We were talking about it earlier, Coleridge and I, and we think it's definitely going to come down to a win if you want to win the championship.
So I thought it's not a points battle tonight. It's just whoever finishes ahead, is it not?
Yep, just whoever finishes ahead.
Coleridge also getting past Andy Cork here. He's going to get into their contact. I was going to say that Coleridge.
Think he was expecting the 12 to be a little bit closer to the wall there on exit.
Yep.
I think so, and I was going to say Coleridge is looking to get past him and lose his momentum, but Coleridge did not get out of the gas. He went up a little bit. Contact there. Doesn't look like there's any damage.
I think we should look here at the second place. He's reeling in Cody and pulling away from Coleridge.
Yeah, he's about 0.2 of a second faster than our leader the last lap.
Cody's about to have some company here in a second.
He is. Coleridge is still about a second back from Cody, so it'll be interesting to see if Christian does make a move, if Cody just lets him go, or if Cody wants to battle pretty hard for this. We're at lap 107, so we're going to be pitting here definitely within 10 laps.
I think if I were Cody, what I would do is I would let Christian just let him go. Because I've noticed with some people
going to be doing. Oh, Cody got on the wall there, coming out of turn 2 a little bit.
With people who are newer at running in the front, they tend to make more mistakes. Like they get excited, they say, "Oh, I can take the lead here." Then they overdrive the corner, and Cody here just decided to race him and try to get back to the lead here. It looks like.
Yeah, like Christian might have got a little loose there on exit.
I was going to say, I think Cody just had some momentum there and was looking to ride that wave. But we do have a new leader, Christian Delgado. New leader. We're at Old Atlanta. Forgot where we were. Oh, Christian gets a little loose there again. Cody carrying that momentum. I mean, it looks like Cody's trying to make a pass. I really don't think he is. I think he's just saying, Christian, get it together, keep it solid. Pull away from me, I don't care, but quit wiggling in front of me.
Yeah, that's definitely what's happening here. I think he wants him to pull away, and Christian just keeps making a few little mistakes here and there, just keeping them close together.
Cody Richardson back to running that high line, looking for some clean air behind Christian. Coleridge now, the gap to Coleridge is about 0.7 behind Cody. Which is probably where Cody wants to keep it if he can, but it's a little bit harder when you've got Christian right in front of you.
See, with here, the pit window's about to open up. You can get about 47 laps, maybe 48 with all the lifting you have to do. Now, if I were Coleridge, I'd be looking to pit ahead of Cody. It's about, what do we figure, second a lap, something like that.
Yeah, it's about they're about a second a lap right now off their fastest laps, but I'm sure when they come out after the next stop, the laps are going to be even faster as this track keeps cooling down too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're Cody, do you go early to avoid the undercut, 1, and then 2, to get out of Christian's rear?
Looks like Coleridge and Lilith are both coming into pit road here this time.
There we go. See, they try to jump him. I bet Cody pits this lap here.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to, or your race is pretty much over.
Yeah, because I think what we're going to see here is Coleridge is going to be very close to Cody, if not in front of him here, coming out of this pit stop, just from that one lap advantage.
Coleridge and Lilith are in their box. Let's see what Cody does this time by.
Stays
He
out.
stays
He's out.
out. So him and Christian both stayed out. Looks like Corey Sherman and Brian Dorsey also pit.
And if I were Cody, I would want to pit before Christian, because Christian might be a little more timid getting to pit road. You don't want to get caught up, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, when I'm pitting, I always try to do it with as least amount of traffic as possible.
Because Cody can maximize your pit entry. That might be 4 or 5 car lengths less than what Christian did. Cody's coming in.
Cody's
now.
coming in this
Here
time.
he
You can
is.
see him checking up. Looks like he's got another good little lock up there, but I think he's fine. He got a good one. That's going to leave Christian up front. Coleridge is back out on track, has about a second gap here to Lilith. You can see them both on frame with Gary Bowman in between. Gary has not pit yet. Following Coleridge here on track, you'll be able to see Cody Richardson is still in the pits, still in his box. Done with the pits, pulling
Coleridge
out.
Is coming out of 4.
Coleridge he's got a little bit, had to check up for the 28. 28 got in front. Coleridge was not able to get down below, had to check up. Cody Richardson is in front, but is not going to have the speed of Coleridge.
Coleridge should be able to easily take the lead here, or get in front of Cody here after the pit stop cycle.
Didn't quite jump him as much as I thought he would. Cody was close on that pit exit line coming
That
out
was
there.
very close.
I'm with you, Kyle. I really thought Coleridge would have a bigger lead. He's 7/10 in front, and
is about
Cody's going to
in the
have
Lilith.
2-lap fresher tires. Cody, actually got out in front of Lilith. Now Cody is having to deal with this 28 car.
Looking at the charts here, it looks like Christian Delgado and Chris Letts both had black flags there on pit entry.
Oh, no.
Unfortunate for Christian. He was having such a great night here, too.
See, and that's what I mean. You get excited and you start making mistakes.
That's going to put Eric Anderson in the lead provisionally. He has yet to pit. Eric, Dan Keene, Dan's pitting now, so Eric is the last one out that has not pit. Looks like Eric is pulling into the pits now, so Coleridge should cycle out in front. Cody Richardson half a second back. Lilith Peters another second and a half back, followed by Corey Sherman, Ed Yergin, John Ross, and Dave Sanders.
Cody's really starting to run that bottom. I think he wants to get out ahead of Coleridge.
Well, if he's going to pass him, and obviously he wants to, it's going to be easier to pass him on fresher tires than on older tires, is it not?
It depends. This track, you have so many different options with the lanes, especially with 1 and 2 almost being completely in shade. You could rip the top, get the momentum, and sling it down to the bottom, going through 3 and 4. Even on older tires, you just have so many options here. This was a really good idea to finish the season here with these cars, I would say.
Yeah, this is a very racy racetrack for a finale. Almost as good as having it at a place like Homestead, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Homestead would be a really good idea for a final season, or a final race, I would say.
We've cycled through pits. Everybody is pit. We've got the battle for the lead is also the battle for the championship. Top 3, Coleridge with about a half-second lead over Cody. And then it looks like another 2 seconds back to Lilith. Dan Keene, a lap down, still paying the penalty for that speeding. Lap
He's
traffic.
really hoping for that caution, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it's coming anytime soon.
Lap traffic, Chris Letts stays up high, really helps Coleridge there. Unfortunately gets a little bit in the way of Cody, but Cody gets around pretty quick. He might have had to check up a little bit there on exit.
Cody kind of starting to reel him in. I think he just wants to stay within sight of him.
Yeah,
So
they're
if those
running pretty
tires-
close lap times out there right now, too. So I think Cody's just trying to keep him there, not use up his stuff, and just try to slowly run him down here in the final. We got about 36 laps left, 35 laps left.
It's easier to chase than it is to defend.
Is it?
Easier. Yeah, you got that target in front of you to follow. You know what you need to get to. It's much easier trying to just race down that guy in front of you than maintain the race pace.
But is it? I mean, yeah, I agree with the chase down. It's just for me, it's always the pass that's hard because I use up everything, it seems like, in the chase. And then when I get to the car in front, I can't make the pass stick because I don't have the tires to make it stick.
You just kind of learn as you're chasing them down. You just kind of learn where they're running, where they're struggling.
I need to learn to take the air off the back quarters a little better.
Yeah, see, I would try that, and I'd end up spinning someone out. So I don't bump. I don't do a bump and run either. I don't know how to do it successfully.
Nah, these
Yeah,
cars you don't have to bump. Cody
it's one of
down to
those things you
2
just,
tenths back.
You just got to get right behind them. You don't want to touch them, just right behind them, and you'll take that air off that spoiler, and it'll definitely get them loose. Usually, you'll see a lot of guys doing that coming out of the corners a lot because of how free it'll make the car in front of you.
Cody's
I know it happens a lot to me in NAS.
Yeah, Cody's last lap of 30.95 to Coleridge's 31.1. Cody on the outside looking to make a move. Coleridge almost looks like he's letting him have it and pulling in behind.
You still got a little bit to go. 30 laps here is a long time, especially on a set of tires. So I think Coleridge is just letting him by, see what he can learn, and then just kind of wait and relax, and in the last 10 laps, go for broke.
Well, we say that now he's pulling down below Cody. I don't know if he's looking to make a pass or just running that low line.
I think he's just trying to stay out of his air in the corner, not burn up that right front.
Yeah, and we've been seeing him run the bottom a lot here tonight as well, too. So I think he just likes that bottom line, especially in 1 and 2.
1 and 2 is bumpier than 3 and 4, though, on the bottom, is it not?
Yeah, it is. But if you can get it right near that white line, there just seems to be a lot more grip that can just pull your car right around.
Yeah, you got to get the bottom just right for it to be a really good line. If you're up just a little bit too much, then yeah, it's going to be a lot more of a struggle getting around there than wrapping that white line.
Right there is a perfect example. Coleridge, he kind of got it. There's a bit of a clear bit of track that hasn't been rubbered in. There's a bunch of grip there. Coleridge nailed it, and he gained on Cody going into coming off a 2. But Cody had that momentum there on the outside to see if he wraps it here, wraps the bottom again here. Yeah, right on that white line. You can watch him gain a little bit off of 2. No, Cody nailed that corner, and he's pulling away.
Yeah, I'd say Cody actually had a really good corner at that corner. They both did. We got 8 cars on the lead lap. Cody Richardson, Coleridge, Finnemore, Corey Sherman, Lilith Peters, John Ross, Ed Jurgen, Dave Sanders, and Eric Anderson. We've had a long green flag run, some exciting racing, a lot of back and forth passing early on. It's settled down a little bit, but with 29 to go, I think we're going to see it start to pick up, maybe 10 to go.
Yeah, I think these two are just going to ride it here for a little bit, and Cody's probably hoping to try to give a little bit of gap, but not use up too much tire doing that. And I'm sure Coleridge here is trying to save a little bit as well, too, to try to give that final little push here at the end. That gap now back from this battle to Lilith is about 5 seconds, so she's hoping to find a little bit more speed to try to come back up here and fight these other guys for this championship.
The non-championship runner in there in 3rd place, Corey Sherman, having a great race. Corey pit lap 111. He pit between Coleridge, after Coleridge, and before Cody. I think he might have been listening to us. Pit 1 lap earlier or 2 laps earlier than he usually does. Might have been his plan all along, but having a great run here in 4th place. John Ross in 5th. Another non-contender having a good run. Ed Jurgen, we saw him contending up front in the top 3 in 6th place. also having a good run. These guys are pretty much spread out on track, just trying to keep it together for the last few laps. Okay.
Yeah,
more
we
than
got a
few.
lot of big gaps out there on the track, and our closest one is basically between our leaders, and the battle as well for third and fourth place. Everybody else is spread out by more than a second from cars around them.
So
Well, it
Kyle,
was
you don't
closing there.
like these cars quite as much as it sounds like as either you used to, if you ever did. So what's your favorite car?
Well, definitely my favorite car would be the Gen 4. It's just I've kind of as I get longer into iRacing, I've noticed I need the side force to just go go in the corner, drive the thing sideways. These cars, you don't have any side force. You can get them sideways a little bit, but once you step over that line and the line is very, very thin, the car is just gone, and then there's no saving it. I find so. I would say Gen 4 and then Xfinity cars are probably my favorites.
Yeah, those are
Xfinities are a
fun.
lot of fun.
Those are fun cars. I think the one thing I do like about this car is how you were mentioning no side force, and that's one of the things I enjoy about this car is how hard it is to try to get as much speed as you can in the corner while also keeping your car as straight as you can too. It is such a struggle to try to not get that back end to spin out, because all of us are used to those other cars that have so much side force where you want to get that right rear out, where this car you're trying to treating it like a GT car, just keeping it straight.
And I've noticed like ever since the last big update, like these cars have just become super, super loose. Like I felt a lot more comfortable early on, but I would say ever since since the big update that iRacing put out, I cannot drive these cars for the life of me. It's
Yeah,
just
I think some of that too is before the recent update, there was a lot of people complaining that the fixed setups were too tight. So the iRacing staff countered them, and it made a setup that was looser, and that's what we have right now with the fixed setups.
well, I think I'm gonna go make some accounts and just start complaining that they're too loose, and maybe they'll change them back.
They probably will, and they'll turn it back into a dump truck. It'll be perfect.
Eric Anderson with a pass into seventh place. He's up 11 spots now, as I say, into seventh place, passing Dave Sanders. His last lap, 31.69, leaders 31.6s, so he's right up there on pace. So what about rain? You think it's going to be a disaster?
Oh yeah,
Oh, it'll
oh
be
yeah.
a
Half the
beautiful
community can't even
disaster.
drive in the dry.
Oh, man.
I'm excited to see whatever happens with rain and the how many people actually finish their first rain race.
Yeah.
I feel like I probably won't even finish my first rain race with how treacherous I would expect it to be out there.
So I used to race karts. And
Oh, Coleridge!
Coleridge!
Oh, hard
See?
hit.
Right
We
there.
were
It
on
just
there.
it steps out
Yeah,
randomly.
let's see if we can see here.
It's hurt. That's going to
That-
be
Yeah.
suspension
That's probably
damage.
some toe damage as well too on that right front. That's unfortunate for Coleridge.
Oh, man, we saw it live, but that's not what we wanted to see. Just got a little bit loose, like you were talking about, Kyle. And in that case, the wall is what kept him from spinning.
Yeah, turn 2 is just it's so bad. I think it's the he's
Oh,
back in the
he's
wall
just
back
in
in
the
the
wall.
wall.
He is struggling.
Yeah, that car is hurt right now. It's not driving straight.
That is very terrible for Coleridge, and unfortunately, he's probably going to start dropping spots here. You can see how beat up
Back
that
up
right
into the
front is.
wall.
And Cody's got about a 2 second lead on him here now, and that's just going to keep stretching out now. Rough luck for Coleridge there, getting in the wall.
And with this, it's not. We don't get with being in the cup. You don't get fast repairs or anything. So it might be a matter of time until that tolling fully breaks, and it just goes right into the wall. And that's about
Yeah,
an
it looks like he's
8 minute
testing the
repair.
durability of it now at this
Yeah,
point.
and it might not be by choice. He's just it's pushing. I think it's about to go here.
Yeah, up into the wall again.
Chris Letts is behind him, just to be like, "What's going on? Stop it! Stop it!"
You can see him
I'm sure
trying to
he's
get that car to the
I'm sure
bottom.
he's pretty frustrated right now, and
Yeah.
after watching all those wall hits, I'm sure he's driving angry trying to get back up there.
What
Yeah.
a disappointment. Not what we wanted to see, and I'm sure it's not the way Cody wanted this part of it to end.
Yeah, and like right there, it just there's no warning. It just the back end steps out and you're just along for the ride. You hit a bump wrong, it bounces off the diffuser and it's gone.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say was we used to, like I say, I used to race karts. That's probably my limit of experience, if you can call that racing, real racing at all. But we raced in the rain before, and you race and you go slow and you build your confidence, and then all of a sudden it just breaks loose. You hit a water spot and it just breaks loose, and it's so unpredictable, which is the reality of rain. But I imagine if that happens in iRacing, people will complain about the unpredictability of it.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of looking forward to. I mean, the first time we get to experience that, one of the endurance races, I think that's going to be a really exciting time. If you can get a good team of people that know how to be patient on the racetrack, especially when the weather shifts like that, it could be a good time to pick up a lot of spots off of teams that are caught off guard by that weather coming in.
We saw Coleridge struggling, but last lap, Cody Richardson 31.99, Coleridge 32.19, so about 2/10 difference. The previous lap, it was actually less than a tenth. So Coleridge still has some speed in that car, but he's definitely off pace.
Yeah, you wonder how hard he's pushing it too to kind of counteract that damage he's got on it too. So he's probably just hoping a caution comes out at some point soon and just trying to hold on for everything he's got right now.
Interesting to see how his steering wheel is when he goes down the front stretch, if he has to really turn it to the left. Or
Well,
if
let's
it's
hop
kind
in
of
the cockpit and see here. Oh, can't see the steering wheel.
I've got it here on mine. It kind of looks relatively straight, so no, it's pushing,
Yeah, it's
but it's
pushing
pushing
really bad.
bad.
Yeah, I got my steering wheel turned off. I don't want to see two steering wheels. One on
I
screen
race
and
in
one in
VR,
live.
so all I see is the one.
I
It's
am
the
not
only
in
time
VR.
mine's on is in VRs when I'm in VR because if you don't have it on, it just feels really weird.
VR, I bet that would be because you wouldn't see either one. But for me, when I saw two of them, one on screen and one in real life, it was frustrating for me.
Yeah, I when I play on a screen, I turn off all of that stuff, but VR you have to have it on. One time I turned on the steering wheel, but no motion in it, and it just really was messing with my head,
Yeah.
not seeing a steering wheel turn as I was turning it.
Cody Richardson, 4-second lead over Coleridge now, 7-second lead over Lilith. Dan Keene, as we talked about, lap down, having trouble in the pits. Cody just needs to, I hate to say it, but kind of coast and bring it home, not make any mistakes with 12 to go.
Yeah, he's hoping everyone keeps their car underneath him right now because he does not want to see a caution. He just wants this thing to go green to the end and try to get another championship here tonight.
And he's been class of the field the entire season, so it's definitely well deserved if he can hold off for the next 10 laps.
You know, it really is. I know sometimes he'll catch some flack in Discord about, his how well he does, but I think a lot of people don't know. He puts in the hours in this next gen car. He races NIS and others, and is just seems like all of his racing is either in a special events endurance or in this next gen. So he has a ton of hours in this next gen car, and I think that shows in his performance.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. He like the amount of time he puts into this car is just absolutely insane. Between like you said, NIS and setup building as well. Like he just spends so much time trying to learn this car and it shows on the track. He has such great performances in so many different races that he's in.
Coleridge having a great year as well. As you talked about, had some internet problems. Thought he was, at least I thought maybe he was out of the playoffs, and kind of hoped he was, because if he hadn't made it, I think I'd have made it. But even with provisional points, able to get a great win last week, get enough points to get him into this final round. Definitely was a contender, battling for that lead the whole time till he had a little bit of trouble there with the wall. Lilith Peters in third place, had some great finishes all year. Another great contender here late in the race, just not able to keep up with Cody's pace, but still fantastic year. Great championship challenge. Good to see her doing well on track. Dan Keene, 12th place tonight, not what he wanted. Little trouble on pit road, but again, he's a guy not going to be somebody we talk about a lot because he's not a winner every week or week out, especially competing against some of these other guys, but he is always up there in the top, and that shows because it got him down to this last round. And I think, if he had not had trouble, he'd definitely be up there competing and battling for this win as well. Great job to all the championship runners and, frankly, all the drivers, as I said earlier, keeping it green, having some good racing here at Cyber Thunder.
We've kind of given Dan the nickname of Cody, too, because once he figures this car out, man, I think Cody is in trouble with Dan. Dan is that good to beat. Once he gets this, he gets the time and the reps behind the car. Yeah, watch out. We have Cody, too, in training with Dan Keene here.
Yeah, I think his big thing is similar to me. We've talked about it, joked about it, is we got to qualify better. I think definitely be able to do better in the races if we're starting more up front.
Yeah, for sure. Qualifying is a huge aspect of these races here.
5 to go. Cody Richardson in the lead, looking to finish this out, hoping it stays green and put another championship under his belt.
He's going to have a whole room dedicated to sim racing trophies here.
Yeah, he's got Majors trophies, Cyber trophies, NIS trophies, and a bunch of guitars.
So, yeah, as soon as the iRacing Awards is going to outnumber his guitars, I think, too.
That is Dave Gainforth down there on the bottom. He is a lap down, just letting the leader go. It's almost like Cody's making a little bit of a parade lap, right?
Yeah, I think it's fitting that tonight Cody's favorite driver, Jimmy Johnson, my favorite driver as well, got his shrine in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and Cody's pretty much become our Jimmy Johnson here in the Cyber Thunder Cup Series, and he's looking at going for his second championship in a row here in about 3 laps.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Tonight's race, we had some great battles up at the beginning. It's kind of settled down now, but thanks for tuning in tonight and all season. As I said, we're going to take a break at Cyber for about a month. Drivers will have lots going on. As Kyle pointed out, got some big announcements coming up. Looking forward to starting a new season of racing, starting fresh. Cody will be the reigning championship, but if he finishes here, he'll be the reigning champion. But you know what? On week 1, I'm going to have the same amount of points as he is.
Exactly. We're all points leader the first lap at Daytona.
Well, he might have one more than me if he gets pole, huh? White flag out.
7-second lead now over Coleridge. He just needs to keep it smooth here. He's probably not even trying at this point. He just wants to bring this car back home.
Yeah, I will say I am impressed with. Sorry, I was gonna say I am impressed with Coleridge with all that damage, able to finish this race and keep it in second place. That is pretty impressive itself. Across the finish line, Cody Richardson, your race winner and champion. We're going to let these guys finish up, and we'll pull Cody in for a little bit of an interview, but let's let these guys get past the checkered flag. We'll go down through your finishing lineup. Cody making his parade lap. We're just waiting for all the cars to finish. There we are. Finishing lineup for tonight. Race results: Cody Richardson, Coleridge Finnemore, Corey Sherman. There's your podium drivers. John Ross in fourth, Lilith Peters, Eric Anderson, Dave Sanders, Ed Jurgen, Gary Bowman, Christian Delgado make out your top 10.
And Brian Dorsey in 11th, Dan Keene in 12th, Dave Gainforth 13th, 14th Justin Horton, Leroy Coblins 15th, Andy Court 16th, Chris Letts in 17th, Paul Turner 18th, Stephen Music 19th, Kyle Nadeau 20th, and Jeremy Flanagan in 21st.
Kyle, did you catch up with our race winner?
Hey, champ. How's it feel to win your second in a row?
Oh, I'd ask you the same thing, Kyle. This is pretty freaking amazing. Can't lie.
Oh, it's so fun. Take us through your race there. We for a little while there, it looked like it was new Atlanta with how with the pack racing up front there.
You know, for a little while there, it felt like new Atlanta. I wasn't sure what was going on. After that caution, I got in a little bit of a lead and thought I could just drive away with everything. But, man, after that caution, I think Coleridge found something. That was some of the tightest racing I've ever had in anything. And, oh, man, I didn't know what was going to happen. We were slide jobbing each other, trading lanes, going back and forth. Came into the pits, came out in front of him and thought maybe if I can just hold this off. Coleridge chased me down from 3 or 4 seconds back, and he short pit, I think, that last time. I don't know if he was out of running low on fuel or if he was just burning his stuff up. But, man, I caught him, said I just can't let him drive away from me. I know how good he is. I finally got around him. The gap started dropping, and once it got down to 3 or 4 seconds, I was lifting as early as I possibly could. I wasn't taking any risk. Just trying to bring it home. But, man, heck of a season, heck of a race, guys. I hope it was fun for you guys up here.
Oh, it was a blast up here. And we figured, like, at one point it was you, Lilith, and Coleridge, 1, 2, 3, pulling away from the field. And it was like, you know, you guys have dominated this entire season, and you guys put on a hell of a show. Congrats on your championship, man. The floor is yours.
Hey, well, thank you. Thank you guys up here for taking the time out of your day to broadcast up here. Jerry, Andrew, Kyle, thank you very much. Jerry and Kyle, I know you'd rather be out on track for this long race out here, but thank you for putting this on, covering Mike there. Thanks to Cyber Thunder for putting this on. Got to say hi to all the friends and family out there. Hi, Mom. We did it. 2 in a row. Thanks to all my teammates. Jerry, you're one of them. Dan, I think he came home, had a little speeding penalty, but came home pretty good too there in the final 4. All the sponsors that are on the truck here, on the car here, Mad Sim Racing, Mad Spartan Sim Racing. Let everybody know, check out madsimracing.com and intotheapex.com. New podcast every weekend. I'm going to go do some more burnouts.
Awesome, man. Hey, thanks for joining us. Congratulations again. Go pop that champagne.
I'm going to, Jerry. Thank you very much.
Congrats again.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me tonight. It's been a fun season. Tonight's race was really good. Had runs a little bit of trouble, slowed down there at the end, but it was still a really good, really fun race. Really good, really fun season. I'm looking forward to next season, but I'm going to enjoy a little bit of time off.
I think so as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's been a great season. Great race out there tonight. And I'm sure we'll have a lot more great racing next season here as well, too, at Cyber Thunder.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We're going to sign off. We'll see you in about a month. Check it out. Don't forget us. See ya.
Later.
Good night.